Hello everyone, welcome to Qianmo Accountants. In this video, we will talk about Australian economy. Australian economy does not usually seem to attract so much attention globally. In our impression, it is a high-income country, an attractive travel destination, and full of natural resources. Seems like that's pretty much it, isn't it? But in this video, we will look in detail how does economy perform in Australia and how has it changed over the time. Generally speaking, the world's economy started on a new chapter from the 18th century with the Industrial Revolution. In the first 50 years of the 19th century, which is 1800 to 1850, the economy in Australia expanded with the establishment of large sheep and cattle farms. Even today, livestock farms as well as the whole agriculture industry is still a notable part of the economy in Australia. According to the statistics provided by the Department of Agriculture, in 2023, 38% of Australian farm businesses are livestock farms. There are 30,500 livestock farms nationwide, of which 19,400 were beef cattle, 10,400 were sheep cattle, and around 3,600 produced a mix of beef cattle and sheep cattle. Australia is also one of the world's largest wool producers, producing around 25% of the greasy wool sold on the world market. Greasy wool is unprocessed wool that has been shorn directly off the sheep. Starting off on the agriculture industry has given Australian economy a good start in the 19th century. Getting close to the 20th century, gold was discovered in Australia. The gold rush brought many immigrants settling in Australia. Between 1851 to 1871, Australian population went up 3 times from 430,000 to 1.7 million as migrants from across the world arrived in search of gold. As of today, gold still comprises of 5% of all exports that Australia provides to the world. With the funds and capital accumulated from the agriculture industry, the discovery of gold, and significant migration to Australia, as the 20th century approached, Australia is off to a good start in starting its manufacturing industry. Supported by government incentives, manufacturing growth flourished, especially after World War II, mainly in the vehicles material manufacturing like alloys, textile, and consumer goods industries. Yes, Australia used to produce consumer goods as well, like the textiles and toys, etc. This picture shows Australian exports in the year of 1965. It is generated from a data visualization tool called the Atlas of Economic Complexity, which is powered by research from the Harvard University. The largest sector is still agriculture, but a variety of manufacturing exports also look prominent on the map. The biggest exports are the material manufacturers, such as lead alloys, zinc alloys, aluminum, the copper alloys, etc. The second largest manufacturing exports are the vehicles and machinery manufacturing industry, followed by the chemical manufacturers, like the glues, insulin, and various other types of chemicals. There are also significant exports of consumer products like the printed books, children's toys, artworks, lighting fixtures, recording tapes, and miscellaneous types of other kinds of manufactured goods. In a nutshell, about half a century ago, apart from the agriculture sector, manufacturing was also a notable contributor to Australia's economy. As time moved to the 1980s, the economy in Asia started to take off. In 1990, consumer production in the manufacturing industry shifted to Asia. However, many other parts of the manufacturing still remained in Australia. Significant exports continued in material manufacturing, such as the alloys. manufacturing of parts and accessories for motor vehicles, aircraft component and boat components. The manufacturing of chemicals maintained a similar portion but became more advanced. Additionally, there were various other manufacturers like the photographic film production, the recording tapes, electrical instruments, etc. We may not even recognize them, but they provide unique value despite their small quantities. Meanwhile, a significant change occurred as the agriculture industry is no longer the largest economic export by 1990. Due to the rapid growth in Asia, there was a substantial increase in the demand for iron ore and resources. Fortunately, Australia possesses abundant natural resources. During this time, tourism also became a rising sector in the economy as Australia has been seen as an attractive destination. Overall, Australia's economy became more diverse from the 1980s with the globalization and technology development. Coming to the millennium, and we look at the statistics in 2010. Iron ore and fuels like the coal, gas, and petrol continues to be the largest exports, with China joining the WTO in 2001. Travel and tourism become even more popular, and higher education also became a booming industry. Services like the information and communications technology, such as the medias and stuff, also become a large part of the Australian economy with the breaking through of IT technology worldwide. Manufacturing industry remained similar with consistent export of alloys, a relatively advanced manufacturing in parts and accessories for motor vehicles, ships, and aircrafts. Manufacturing of medical equipment and instruments also contributes to the manufacturing industry. And Australian wine also become more welcomed globally, with a notable increase in exports leading up to the year 2010. The biggest change between the 1990 and 2010 was the sharp increase in demand for the iron ore, which contributed significantly to the economy during this time. Finally, coming to 2019, just before the global crisis of COVID, iron ore continued to play a significant role in the economy. Meanwhile, the manufacturing sector began to shrink, giving way to growth in the services industry. The tourism sector boomed like never before, the communication industry maintained strong performance, and the insurance and finance industries also gained prominence within the service sector. So in summary, the Australian economy began with agricultural resources, which led to the development of large cattle and sheep farms, as well as the wool industry. The discovery of gold brought capital for the development of Australia and attracted immigrants, all of which contributed significantly to the growth of the economy in the 19th century. After the World War II, a new round of globalization began. Australia participated in this round of globalization and developed its manufacturing industry in motor vehicle, material manufacturing like alloys, and consumer products manufacturing like the books, toys, recording tapes, etc. During this time, agriculture still remained the primary export. From the 1980s, large amounts of consumer goods production shifted to Asia, although Australia retained some advanced manufacturing. A major change began in the 1990s, making iron ore and the mining industry the largest export contributors to the economy. In the meantime, service industries like tourism, higher education, IT, finance and insurance services started to boom, while the percentage of the export of manufactured goods gradually decreased in comparison. In terms of employment, even though iron ore and mining are the largest economic export contributors, they are not the largest employment sectors though. According to the data provided by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, mining contributes to only 2% of employment. The largest employment sectors are retail, healthcare and social assistance, and professional scientific and technical services, which are the accountants, the lawyers, computer system designers, engineers, and other professionals. Also, the construction industry, manufacturing industry, accommodation and food services, and administrative services all provides large amounts of employment too. So that's an overview of Australian economy from the angle of its exports, which in certain ways display the industries where Australia has advantages, and from the perspectives of which industry provides larger employment nationwide. Hope this gives you a bit more detailed information about Australian economy. I am an accountant and I've worked in the accounting industry since 2012. I provide technical training to junior accountants to improve work performance and start successful career in accounting firms and the accounting industry. Accounting can go far beyond just number crunching. We can be the best business advisors equipped with knowledge about accounting and various aspects of the economy and the business. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye!